Hello. Hey guys.
Hi.
Happy Thanksgiving Eve.
Yes.
I couldn't be more thankful for this whole opportunity, for each of you to get to know each of you. We've prayed over our businesses. We've prayed over your businesses. We may not even know who you are yet, but just know that you have been prayed for. And so, um, we are thankful for you and happy Thanksgiving Eve. And I hope you guys have an amazing Thanksgiving. I plan to
Yes.
gobble till I wobble.
Ah,
Yeah.
gosh.
My daughter would be like, Mom, really? All right.
That's
So
funny.
I have this beautiful lady on here. By the way, I'm Danielle Latusky, Danielle, AKA Danielle Lit, because it's about to be fire. Why do
Oh,
I get
shoot.
goosebumps every time I say that? And my daughter would call me cringy again. Um, But anyway, Arlene, can you tell everybody who you are, where you're from? Give them your info.
Yes, definitely. I just realized actually that my name says Alyssa Laureano. Oops. Uh, this is my daughter's computer. So I'm Alyssa's mom, Arlene, and I am, let's see, I was about to say
Something.
that I'm a double. I'm so sorry. Okay, I just went back in time.
Yes, you did take it back in time. That is so funny. Okay, where
Oh
are you
gosh.
from? Tell us how many freaking amazing children you have. That type.
Okay, so I am a mom of six awesome kids. I have an awesome husband. I just have to put awesome in front of all of them because, you know, it could get crazy if I went into detail about each one. So, we're a military or former military family. My husband's retired now, and we live in Virginia, Northern Virginia, in the DC area. And we have known Danielle for about 7 years now, I
Yeah.
think. Danielle and Chad, yeah, and Kristen and Travis. We were from our former company, two formers actually. Um, and that's how we met. So we've been friends ever since and business partners, and um, now we're here starting this incredible journey, which I'm so excited about, even though I never thought I would do this again. But
Mhm.
here I am. And it's insane, but I have like all the peace, all the inner peace, knowing that even though this seems crazy, it's, I know that I'm following in the right steps.
Yeah,
So yeah.
absolutely. So I want to just let you guys know that this morning, I guess, tidbit, I don't know what you want to call this, it's just a little bit different because I want you to hear real and raw. That's who I am, and that is who Arlene is as well. And so I want you to hear perspectives. I want you to hear, well, you'll see. So, okay. Arlene mentioned we've known each other for 7, 8 years. Um,
Yeah.
and so we met from not my previous business, but my business before that. And the same thing with her actually, because we went different directions after our stint in our first business together. Can you share with everybody kind of like how we met and what that looked like? Our previous company, we had a party plan. Part of it was there was party plan. We're not in that type of industry right now. I mean, you can do parties all you want. I love party. But can you tell everybody like how we met and what that looked like?
Yes. So, um, at the time, I was, my husband was deployed. I had our last baby. So, our last baby was about 4 months old. And I had a 1-year-old and all these, oh my gosh, there were just so many kids everywhere. and, and I was just so desperate at this point. My husband had been deployed, I think, about 8 months. And Danielle's cousin, Dana, was our nanny and our babysitter. Well, she was our nanny before, and then she would just come and help me after my husband was deployed. She had a different job at that point, but she would come and help me. And so she was doing a party for Danielle for that company. And so she was like, oh, you got to come, just, and I really didn't want to go. But I was like, okay, fine, I'll go. She's been helping me all this time. I'm going to go just be a good friend and go to this party. So I go, not expecting anything, really just going to get out of the house and maybe not be depressed for a couple hours.
There was some alcohol involved, I think.
There may have been some wine, maybe,
Yeah.
if I recall. It's been a long time. So, but so in that business, in that company, we had to like apply these things on our bodies and wait. And so while we waited, not to give too much away, while we waited during that time, we Danielle did a presentation, and she really, before I even knew what my results would be with this product, she really sold me on the fact that she had retired, that from her banking job, and that she was replaced her income with this business, and she had made all these bonuses and et cetera, and she had these babies. And I was like, well, wait a second, I've got all that. Like, I think I could do that. And so I had tried different little businesses before, but none of them ever really panned out to anything. I never really had that push, that drive that I needed to push me to the next level. It was kind of like I did it until it got hard or uncomfortable. And then I was like, I'm done. This isn't for me. Like very typical. For if you've been in this business, this happens a lot. So, anyway, I told her I was going to pray about it. And because her cousin and her cousin's mom were like, you should do this. And I should mention that I was one of two people that showed up to this party.
Yeah.
And Danielle lived like 3 hours away, and she had like a whole weekend set up in Virginia to do all these parties. And I think everything fell apart.
Everything.
And it was the only party she had, and it was 2 of us. And I already told you I went in completely uninterested. I just went for, the wine. And so and so it was just I guess what we always took from that story was that you just never know where you're going to find your next rock star.
Yeah.
You never know when you're going to find your ace. It could be anywhere. You just always go. You give your best. Danielle did not look fazed that there was only 2 of us there. She put on the presentation that she always did, that I saw her do many times after that. And it was her words and her testimony that really changed my life. So her yes was my my game changer. So I ended up signing on a week later, I guess. And at that point, I just decided, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And I ran with it. And I guess in 4 months, I was retiring from my corporate job to stay home with my kids, and my husband came back from deployment and he was on board with it, and we had a really great run. It was like 4 or 5 years that we were there, I think, right? Yeah. So did I answer the question?
Yes, you did perfectly. Yes, it was awesome, and it was amazing to work with you. Like, I love how you touched too, because I was taking notes while you're talking, so I would remember like what I wanted to follow up with. So how you meet people was literally one of the notes that I wanted to mention, and Arlene already touched on that. Like, literally, it was my cousin who was the nanny or babysitter for someone who showed up. So like, I know that a lot of times people's hesitation in this industry are, I don't know enough people, or I don't think my people are going to be interested, or whatever. But it's not even who you know, but who you know knows who knows.
Yeah.
Like 7.
Yep.
What is the separation thing? I forget.
Degrees. Yeah. 6 degrees of separation.
Yeah. So like, it can be crazy. Like, I didn't know Arlene then, but I went to a flopped party, which I cried on the way home. And a result of it was this amazing woman joining my team, catching the fire, and then bringing on some of the most amazing women with her. Like, and men, there were some men, but that was more of a women-based industry, I will tell you that.
Yeah.
And then what I also wanted to mention about what you said is your why. Like, your timing may not have been right in something else that you've tried.
Yeah.
Or maybe you've been thinking about this industry, but you're like, again, you're not sure if it's right for you. Like, timing is important too. And so for Arlene, her timing was, she had 6 freaking kids, you know, she had all these reasons why she wanted to do it. She had a million, 6 specific reasons why she didn't have time to do it.
Exactly.
Still made it happen. And so that to me was incredible, because I have always used Arlene's testimony as exactly that. Like, we all have time, we just have to find it.
Yeah.
We all can do this, we just have to have a strong enough reason to. And so her family was her why in doing this. And my family was my why too, because being a bank manager, most people think that's a cushy 9 to 5. No, my branch was open 7 days a week, until 7 p.m. And I worked over an hour away from home. So I was putting in 60, 70 hours a week,
Mm-hmm.
plus drive time. And so I was not living. Plus they would throw numbers at me and I'd have to become what they needed. And then they'd raise it, and then they'd raise it, and then they'd raise it. And so it was always a constant vicious cycle of not being enough, and feeding into many of my insecurities. So I decided that I wanted to write my own check. And that is what pushed me harder than anything else. Not to mention, there were people watching me, preparing for me to fail. Like, they were like, you're leaving your job with insurance and all these things. Like, and I was like, yeah, I'm leaving because I want to be happy. Like, I want to own my own time. And there's things that I want, and there's reasons that I want to do this that I can't explain to you, but watch and see. And
Yep.
so that, you know, Arlene is the epitome of like exactly why I do this. Because, well, anyway, we'll talk about that in the next note. So, okay. So you mentioned like not wanting to do this, again. So can you kind of just touch on that and then tell us how you feel now about like your decision?
Yeah. So, um, like I said, I had done a couple smaller things, in the past before I was actually became successful at network marketing. And and then when I finished my run with our company that we were in together, I ended up going somewhere else for a short amount of time. And I couldn't seem to vibe. The company or with the culture was so incredible. The family that we built with Kristen and Travis, Danielle and Chad, and our, our um, downline, sidelines, all of us, we just had such a family there. It was unfortunate things kind of just started going a different direction, and people started falling off, and we all held on, I'd say, a pretty long time, because because we loved each other so much, that we all, like, even though our business was crashing at that point, we still couldn't leave. Our loyalty was so strong to each other, and so when I went to this new company, although it was cool, and seemed like something I could really do, seemed different, the family was not there. The family aspect was there, and I had kind of made my decision to stop that company after I went through a little crisis here in my house, like with my family, and I hadn't heard from my upline for a month or two. And I know that uh the last crisis I was in, wow, so many. Okay, and so just going to touch on all of them today. And so, like, Danielle got me on a Zoom, and I'm like, I've been in my pajamas for like 3 weeks, like it was, and it was because of Danielle pushing to get me on the Zoom that I was able to, my friends, my family, my business partners were able to catch me in this like crazy depression I was in, and and pull me out of this. And and then it just made me think, wow, I went through this other crazy thing with my family, and my upline had no idea. They checked in, like, I don't know, a month or two later. Now, here's something. I accept full responsibility of my business. It is nobody's job to run my business for me. It is nobody's job to motivate me to do my business. However, after coming from such a strong core family of business partners, it just wasn't something I wanted to invest my time in when I was already going through so much at home. And so I decided to kind of just let that business go. It was really just a side thing for me, versus our first one was like a main source of income. So um after I finished that one, I was just like, you know what? I'm kind of done with this. I don't want to look for customers. I don't want to do anything that has to do with, you know, hunting people down, cold messaging, all the things that like you tend to do. And in these types of businesses, and I think that we were all taught to in that first business, you know, we all kind of did it. And you get those reminders on your Facebook where you're like, oh my gosh, why? Like
Your
why
memory.
didn't somebody stop me from doing this, you know? But it was a learning process, and that's where we were. That was the stage that we were in at that point. And we got far with it. It's not that it didn't work, you know, but it's not the approach I would take now. So basically, fast forward to this point, um, Kristen and Danielle and Chad and Travis had moved on to their previous company. And I know they had tried to get me on, and it just wasn't the right time for me. My husband being a government worker, CBD was very taboo still. I mean, it still is, but it was more at that time. And he was just kind of like, we're not, you know, we can't do this. And without his support, even though he doesn't actually, you know, work the business with me, I needed him to be okay with me doing the business, because otherwise it was, you know, for me, I needed that. And so I didn't jump on with them, but I was a customer, and I would refer people to them. And I had my own testimony, and CBD helped me tremendously and my family in that time. So although I didn't go with them, I was watching, you know, I watched their success. I was proud of them and happy for them. And, you know, it just wasn't for me. And I think we had discussed it even a year ago, last November. I had gone to Orlando, and I stayed with Kristen and Travis, and we all were together with Danielle and Chad. And, you know, and I was just like, it's not for me. It's not for me. So that just wasn't the right time.
Mm-hmm.
So these awesome ladies get me on a Zoom, and they're like, look, this is what we're doing. This is crazy. You're not going to believe this, but we're just launching a company. And I'm like, of course you are. Like, what? Of course you would. So it was so crazy and incredible. And let me tell you, I didn't want to do network marketing anymore, but I'm not stupid. Okay. There's no way I'm going to pass up an opportunity to start at the ground floor. This is something that we all knew, that didn't matter how successful we were in other companies. We were just like, gosh, but if we would have gotten in here instead of here, oh my gosh, imagine where we'd be. You know, I remember those conversations, you know, and watching the people who did get in at just the right moment, you know, and how successful they were. So I knew the value in getting in now. And I just figured, you know what? If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But I'm going to try, you know, we're going to do this. So I jumped into my van, and I loaded up all my kids, and we drove 12 hours to Orlando. And I was like, I need to feel things, and I need to read things, and I need to see things, and I need to, you know, and we just, you know, dove in. And so, yeah, so I had to kind of get rid of that stigma of like, no, I don't want to do this. I don't want to message anybody. I don't, you know, and honestly, what I had to convince myself in, because even still, even though we were going in, Kristen and Danielle saw the hesitation in my face. My husband was all about it. I was like, yeah, let's do it. Oh gosh, what am I doing? I'm literally virtual schooling 5 kids right now, and my life is a mess. Can I really handle this? And so it was a lot. And so I needed to strategize, and what I came to the conclusion was I'm not going to be the person that I was, you know, years ago. I've grown from there. I'm going to market myself differently. I'm going to find a different approach, and it may take several tries to find what works, but I'm going to keep trying until I find what works for me, and we're just going to run with it. What kind of friend would I be if I did not offer this opportunity to every single person that I know? And that's it. That is it. I think of nothing else. The blinders are on, and I just think of that. What kind of friend would I be if I had this treasure in my hand, this golden opportunity, and I don't tell every single person I know? I'd
Yeah.
be the worst friend ever, and I'm not the worst friend ever. So,
It's so
so
funny
here we are.
that because that's literally like the last sentence of my notes. So
Is it really?
literally it says, and it says, what if you could change someone's lives? Like someone's life. What if you could change someone's life? So I just want to mention one more thing is just, and I think, and Arlene and I have had this conversation and she can chime in on this too, but like just getting out of your own way. Because like she said, there were things, baggage from previous companies, baggage from life that she carried that you guys are carrying. Like, what if I can't? But like, what if you can? Like, what if nobody listens to me? Well, what if you talk to the right person and it changes their life? Like,
Yeah.
but what if I fail? But what if you don't? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, these are the things right now when we're coming out of 2020, like we are literally on the cusp of 2021. And I know that really doesn't mean anything. It's literally a change of the like little flicker thing, but like it means so much. Like it literally means so much to so many people because it's like, bam, fresh start. Like, bam, fresh start.
Yeah.
And so we're on the cusp of just, I know 2021, it just because we flipped the chart doesn't mean all this crap that we've been dealing with is just going to go away. I don't think that's going to be the case. But like, what if we can be the change? You know what I mean? Like, what if we can give people hope again? Like, what if there is a single mom sitting at home, not sure how she's even going to, like, she's not even functioning properly. Okay, maybe she's financially okay, but like, she doesn't have any type of support. Like, Arlene already mentioned that was huge for her. Like the family, the camaraderie, like we are bringing that culture into this business and it's going to be unlike anything you've ever seen before. And so it's just going to check all of those boxes for me personally, even the things that I was missing. Like I've even had the conversation with myself is, can I do this again? You know, do I have the influence? Do I, you know, all these fears just creep in and they try to keep me,
Sabotage.
yeah, they try to keep me from greatness. And I'm here to tell you, like, you can do anything that you put your mind to. Like if you believe you can, or if you believe you can't, you're absolutely right.
Mm-hmm.
And so is there anything else you wanted to mention, Arlene?
Well, just, I guess piggybacking off of that is when, when I met Danielle, as much as it was the perfect time, it was again also the most imperfect time. I mean, it would be the moment where I would have had the least amount of brain power to do what I did, but the want that I had for change, that need for change in my life was so much greater than all of the barriers and obstacles that I really had in front of me. Because honestly, I should have told her when my husband comes back from deployment, let's chat. I'm interested in starting.
You tried to.
Huh?
You tried to.
Oh, I probably did try to, but yeah, Danielle was not taking no for an answer. But I just decided to dive in. Thank God I did. And it would turn out to be a life-changing moment for me, And so you have to be very selfless in this and not get in your way. Understand that there's going to be, 9 no's before you might get a yes. Once you accept all the things that are in your way to stop you, all the things your own anxieties put in your way to keep you from being great and living your best life, once you surpass those things and realize, well, yeah, that's cool. Someone says no. No doesn't mean no forever. Or sometimes it does, but for the most part, it just means now's not the time, and you can move forward. And knowing that you're not alone. I struggle with this a lot where I think, oh gosh, I'm the only one I don't have my life together. I always look a mess. Like, oh my gosh, these kids are always screaming. Let me tell you, the first 15 minutes of this Zoom, I 2 of my boys were screaming their heads off at each other, like fighting. I had to secretly call my husband and say, are you here? Do you hear that? Can you handle it? So it's like, you just wing it. You just got to wing it. So just so much more about not letting things phase you and expecting them and just being like, all right, that's cool. And just keep it rolling. You are here to just plant those seeds. You're here to think that you could potentially change someone's life with these products or with this business. And that's it. What they choose to do with the information you provide for them, with them or to them, that's none of your business. They will let you know. So don't let the stigma of other opportunities you've tried stop you from fully taking advantage of this really incredible opportunity that you have right now, which is to be a founder in a company or come in at top level. You know, it's just such a big deal. And if this is your first business, you don't understand the magnitude of this opportunity. So just really you're going to hear it over and over and over and over again. Get out of your own way.
Absolutely.
Once you learn how to do that, you can be successful. And then my last thing was, I walked in here thinking, can I do it again? Am I just a one-hit wonder? Can I be successful at this? I don't have the same team that I had before. I mean, there are a few people that are here, but I don't have all the people I had before. They're at different points in their lives now or in different companies or whatever the case. So could I tell myself, no, don't even try it because you only have a handful of people or whatever, No, I'm not going to stop myself. There's going to be new people, and maybe those people will join us after they see how amazing it's going. Whatever. It doesn't matter. It's their timing. So you were created for such time as this. And you just got to go for it. Don't get in your way.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Arlene, for joining us.
Welcome. Thank you for having me.
Check this chick out. It's Arlene Lariano, not Alyssa. So she's in our group too. If you have questions or if you relate to her, feel free to reach out to her. And we just want to genuinely just wish you guys, again, the most happiest Thanksgiving. Eat, be merry, Zoom with your family. I don't know what you're doing. But we are excited to get to know you guys. We're excited to watch you on this journey, to just lock arms with you on this journey. And you guys have a blessed day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bye.